This is the story of a man who was right. For 15 years, he was completely, absolutely right. His brother had wronged him, and he had every reason to be angry. And that anger quietly cost him everything that mattered, until an old man building a stone wall showed him the price he'd really been paying, and who had really been in prison. But first, let me ask you something. Is there someone you haven't forgiven? Someone you're still carrying right now in your chest? You don't have to name them. Just hold them in your mind and keep them there as I tell you this story. Like the video if you're ready. Let's begin. In a quiet town, there lived a man named Daniel. Daniel was 48 years old. He had a good job, a patient wife named Sarah, and a 12-year-old daughter named Hannah, who was the light of his life. And Daniel was carrying something. He had been carrying it for 15 years. 15 years ago, when their father died, Daniel and his older brother Michael had gone to war over what was left behind, the small family house they'd both grown up in, and their father's old workshop. There was a decision. Michael made it. He sold the house, without Daniel's blessing, and the workshop with it. Words were said that could not be taken back. And on the day of the sale, the two brothers stood in the empty rooms of their childhood and said goodbye, and they had not spoken since. Daniel told himself he had moved on, but the truth lived in his body. Certain songs he couldn't listen to. Their father's birthday, every year, a black cloud, and a hardness that had crept into him so slowly he never saw it arrive. A shortness with his wife, a coldness he couldn't explain, a wall between him and the world. He was right. He knew he was right, and being right was costing him his whole life. He just couldn't see it yet. It was Hannah's 12th birthday. The house was full of balloons. And at some point, innocently, over the cake, Hannah asked the question children ask. "Dad, why do I have an Uncle Michael I've never met?" And something in Daniel snapped. 15 years of held breath came out in one sharp, ugly sentence. "Because your Uncle Michael is not a good man, and we do not talk about him in this house." The room went silent, and Hannah's face, his daughter's bright birthday face, crumpled and filled with something Daniel recognized instantly. Because he had felt it himself 40 years ago, looking up at his own angry, bitter father. Fear. His little girl was afraid of him. That night, after everyone was asleep, Daniel sat alone in the dark. And for the first time in 15 years, a terrible question arrived. Not, was I right? He knew he was right. The question was worse. What has being right turned me into? He couldn't sleep. Before dawn, he got in his car and drove out past the edge of town toward the countryside where he and Michael had run as boys. He parked by an old lane and walked just to breathe. And there, in the grey morning light, an old man was working. He was rebuilding a long, tumble-down dry stone wall, lifting heavy stones one by one and fitting them carefully into place. He must have been 80. He worked slowly, peacefully, humming. "You're out early," the old man said, not unkindly, without stopping. "Couldn't sleep," Daniel said. The old man, his name was Elias, looked at him for a moment, the way old people can, seeing more than you show. "No," he agreed. "You've got the look of a man carrying something heavy. I know that look. I've built half this wall out of men like you." Daniel almost smiled. And then, to a stranger, in a field, at dawn, it came out. His father, the house, the workshop, Michael. 15 years of silence. All of it. Elias listened, fitting stones, saying nothing until Daniel had finished. Then the old man wiped his hands, picked up a single heavy grey stone from the pile and held it out. "Here," he said, "take this." Confused, Daniel took the stone. It was heavy, maybe 10 pounds, cold and rough. "Now," Elias said, "that stone is your brother. Everything he did to you. Hold it out in front of you, arms straight. Don't put it down. He doesn't deserve to be put down, does he?" Daniel held the heavy stone out at arm's length. For 30 seconds it was fine. After a minute, his arms began to shake. After 2 minutes, the muscles were burning, screaming. "It hurts," Daniel said. "Of course it does, so put it down." Daniel lowered his arms, and the relief was enormous. Elias nodded slowly. The stone didn't change. It weighed the same in the first second as it did in the last. What changed was how long you carried it. He looked at Daniel. "You held that one for 2 minutes, and it nearly broke your arms. You've been holding your brother for 15 years, every single day, 5,475 days. Tell me, where do you think all that weight went?" Daniel couldn't answer. "It went into your shoulders, your marriage, your sleep, your daughter's birthday." Elias said it gently, without cruelty. "Here is the thing nobody tells you, son. Your anger was never hurting your brother. He put his stone down years ago, living his life, sleeping fine. You are the only one who kept carrying it. You have been in a prison for 15 years, and the door was never locked. You just refused to walk out, because walking out felt like letting him win." He picked up the stone Daniel had set down. "Let me tell you what forgiveness actually is. Because you have it wrong, like everyone does. Forgiveness is not saying what he did was okay. It was not okay, and forgiveness is not for him. He may not even want it. Forgiveness is you setting the stone down. So your hands are finally free to hold your daughter." "So how?" Daniel asked, his voice rough. "How do I just put down 15 years? The same way you'd put down anything heavy, deliberately, and there are 3 rules. Rule 1. You stop waiting for an apology. You will die waiting. He may never say sorry. He may not even think he was wrong. Their apology is not the key to your prison. You are. You can set your stone down whether or not he ever bends to pick up his. Rule 2. You do it for yourself, out loud, alone, today. You don't need him in the room. Say it to the empty air, or write it in a letter you may never send. I forgive you. Not for your sake, for mine. I am putting this down now. And you mean not that it was okay, but that you are done carrying it. Rule 3. Elias looked at him steadily. You will pick it back up. Tomorrow, a song, a memory, and your hands will close around that stone again, out of pure habit. That is not failure. That is being human. When it happens, you simply notice, and you set it down again. Forgiveness is not one moment. It is a practice. You set it down as many times as you pick it up, until one day you reach for it, and it isn't there. Then Elias pressed the heavy grey stone back into Daniel's hands. Take this one home. Carry it everywhere, in your bag, for 1 week. And on the day it becomes too ridiculous to carry a rock around any longer, you'll finally understand what I'm telling you. Then come back. Daniel felt foolish, but he did it. For a week he carried a 10-pound stone everywhere, in his work bag, on the passenger seat, into meetings. It was heavy, it was absurd, it got in the way of everything. On the 3rd day, stuck at a red light with the stone on the seat beside him, Daniel started to laugh, a strange, cracking laugh that turned, without warning, into tears, because he finally felt it, all the way through. How insane it was to carry this weight everywhere. How exhausting, and how he had been doing exactly that invisibly for 15 years. That night in the garage, the closest thing he had to his father's old workshop, Daniel sat down and wrote a letter to Michael. Not the angry one he'd written 1,000 times in his head. A different one. He wrote about the house and their father and the fort they'd built as boys. And at the end he wrote, "I don't know anymore if you were wrong. I've stopped needing to. I'm just tired of carrying it. So I'm putting it down. I forgive you. For me. Danny." He didn't have to send it. Setting it down was enough. But in the morning, he sent it anyway. 8 days later, his phone rang. A number he'd deleted 15 years ago, but somehow still knew by heart. He almost didn't answer. He answered. There was a long silence. And then his brother's voice, older, cracked, uncertain. "Danny," a pause. "I've been carrying it too. I never put mine down either. I thought you'd never want to hear from me." Another silence. "I'm so sorry." 2 grown men on a phone, 15 years and 100 miles apart, cried like children. It wasn't magic. The 15 years didn't vanish, but they began, slowly, to build something new, carefully, one stone at a time, the way you rebuild a wall that's fallen down. That summer, Hannah met her Uncle Michael for the first time. She has his laugh, it turns out, and on Daniel's desk there sits a single heavy grey stone, the one Elias gave him. He kept it, not to carry, to remember. On the days the old anger tries to creep back, he picks it up, feels its weight for a moment, and sets it back down, as many times as he needs to. He drove back once to thank the old man. The wall was finished, long and low and beautiful, every fallen stone lifted back into place. But Elias wasn't there. Just the wall and the wind and all that weight finally turned into something that could stand. My friend, the person you're carrying right now, the one I asked you to hold in your mind. I need you to hear this. Your anger was never a punishment for them. It was a sentence you handed yourself. They are out there, living, sleeping, free, while you carry the stone. Being right has never once in the history of the world made a single person free. Only putting it down does that, and forgiveness is not for them. Let me say it one more time because everyone gets it wrong. Forgiving someone does not mean what they did was okay. It means you are done letting what they did keep hurting you. It means your hands are finally free. So here is your challenge. Step 1. Name your stone. The one person, the one wound you've carried longest. Feel its weight honestly, what it's cost your shoulders, your sleep, the people who love you now. Step 2. Set it down. Today, for you, out loud or in a letter you never have to send. Say the words, "I forgive you." Not because it was okay, because I am done carrying this. You do not need their apology. You never did. Step 3. When you pick it back up, and you will, set it down again and again. Forgiveness is not a moment, it's a practice. Do it as many times as it takes until one day you reach for the old anger and your hands come up empty. You have carried it long enough. Whatever they did, you have paid for it every single day since. And they haven't paid at all. Stop paying. Set it down. Not for them, for you, for the people who are still here, still reaching for your hands. So tell me in the comments, you don't have to name them, just tell me. What is one stone you are finally ready to set down? Write it. Make it real. I'll be reading every single one. If this story reached you, like the video. It helps this little channel more than you know. Share it with someone whose heart is heavy with something old. And subscribe because every week I bring you another story of an ordinary person who found a way to set the weight down. Remember the old man's words. Your anger was never hurting them. Put the stone down and hold your life instead. Your hands were never meant to carry this forever. Set it down.